we do have our guest here. Join us, Kuro. Come right here. Wonderful. Grab that mic. And first of all, congratulations to you and your team. This is, I believe, the first LAN victory with this very roster for Team Liquid. So that's pretty huge. And we have been discussing. Like, of course, prior to the tournament, OG has been considered the favorite, and I'm pretty sure, like, even during the interviews, capped it with everyone from the teams. They all said, like, that's going to be the biggest threat. Now, in this grand final, you just seem to take those wins so convincingly. Were you that, I don't know, confident going into those games, or did you think it's going to be a lot harder?
Well, when we played them yesterday, we weren't actually that confident, but today we were much more confident playing against them. They're a team that we just know them very well, and we kind of play similar strategies, so it's a lot about drafting, and yeah.
What changed from yesterday to today then?
I mean, we figured out like what went wrong yesterday, and like the first game, the drafting stage went extremely similar to yesterday's game. We just had to play better. That's what we thought, and it worked out, so...
It really did show. I mean, you guys seem to be very well prepared. And in that game one we were all talking about in the panel, it really felt like you guys had the first 7 steps of the draft kind of planned specifically against OG. But going into game 2, that was a bit tougher. It was a harder game. You guys actually still had a chance to win. But I want to get your thoughts on that third game, though. The same draft coming out from OG.
The third game, what was it? The Tiny Wisp game?
Yeah, you guys went Tiny as well as Legion Commander.
I mean, I think like OG, like obviously they're favorites since they won majors and they're an extremely good team, but they've been traveling a lot, so I feel like they didn't have time to come up with new strategies, and all the strategies they've been using so far, they're like I said, I'm quite familiar with their playstyle and even their draft, and even during majors, I feel like one of OG's biggest strengths is that their strategies are incredibly good. And during majors, no one could beat their strategies. But since OG is one of the newer teams, like Liquid and some other teams, we've been practicing a lot against each other and looking at each other. So, yeah, the third game draft is like whatever. Like, I'm prepared.
Do you guys think you're like, we were talking about this collectively, we all thought you had the best chances going against them, and we all collectively thought like you were the third best team kind of like going into Europe, going into this tournament. We thought you could easily take it to them if you were going to be the team. Do you think you're up there with Secret and OG yet? Like, I mean, clearly you won this game, and I think you are the better team kind of like right now, but still going back into another best of 5 series, like, can you replicate the same thing?
It's really hard to say because competition is extremely random.
Yes.
Today you win, tomorrow you lose, and I feel like we still need to work on a lot of things to actually become a better team. But I feel like we're getting there slowly. This tournament was important in terms of like getting to play more experienced teams and teams like OG. We need to work on a lot of things to like smoothen out some movements and some strategies maybe.
And you guys dominated them still, like in most of the games, so it looked really impressive.
Yeah, I mean for the most part I think it's just because we're that familiar of what they're capable of, so we were pretty much prepared strategy-wise.
I mean, you said you did play a lot against them, so you are familiar with their style. But shouldn't that also go like the same way the other way around? Like they should also kind of know what you guys are playing, or do you feel like you are just a tad more unpredictable because you do go sometimes for a little bit wonky and like out of the ordinary picks?
Actually, we do, but for the most part, they, like I said, they've been traveling, so they didn't really come up with new strategies. While we haven't really played that much like LAN tournaments or serious tournaments, so I feel like there were no real eyes on us and people wouldn't really know what to expect when they play against us, so we kind of had this advantage going on for us during the whole tournament.
Do you feel a little bit of redemption now that you've beat OG in a LAN final compared to obviously the majors qualifiers where you end up losing against them?
No.
salt on the wounds there.
You know, we all made it up to be this big grudge match already against the Lions. So we were like hyping it up, but he was just like, no, not really. Okay, that's nice. But it was such a pleasure to watch you guys playing, and of course we were really happy that you guys won in such a convincing manner as well. Those were some amazing games. So thanks a lot to you and your team, and of course to all the other teams. We once more going to take a look at the brackets to see how Team Liquid fought their way through those brackets. And I mean, they came from phase 1 as well, right? Back then they were still 5 Jungs, and then in the phase 2 they were already Team Lit, and now they came through phase 1, phase 2 into this lovely LAN finals where they first faced off against Alliance. And Alliance lost 2-1. Some really interesting games we saw there. Meanwhile, OG went up against Team Alternate in a 2-0 fashion. They won that game. And then OG and Team Liquid met in the winners bracket final, where OG won 2-0. So OG has been waiting in the grand final slot for their opponent. And today we fought our way through the lower bracket, starting with the semi-final. Team Alternate went up against Alliance. 2-0 was the result of that match. And then afterwards, we saw Team Liquid and Alliance going up against each other once more, where Team Liquid won in a 2-0 fashion. And I mean, the last 5 games, or rather 4 games, you just saw yourself. Team Liquid took it home 3-1. The final result against the giant OG, who has been picked as one of the favorites, but Team Liquid came out on top. So it's been an amazing tournament. We want to thank everyone for watching and tuning in. Of course, if you have any feedback, feel free to just tweet at us or let us know. Our Twitter account is @JoinDota. It's pretty easy to find. Also, all the interviews which have been shown during the stream, you can find them over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/JoinDota. Also, that one really easy to find. Guys, thank you so much for casting and analyzing. It's been a pleasure. And thanks a lot for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed it. That was the Defense Season 5 LAN final. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you again soon.